In this video, I'm going to show you how to integrate iTracker360 with Unbounce. To do that, there's a few extra steps you have to do. It's a little bit tedious, so just pay attention to the video and it can be done. So with this page, it's a stock Unbounce page. iTracker's not running on it, so we're going to basically start from scratch. So if I inspect this form, there are no iTracker hidden fields at all. So the first step to do is add the iTracker tracking snippet to the Unbounce page. So I'm going to grab my tracking snippet. I'm just going to go to the setup guide, say I need the WordPress or the iTracker snippet. I'm going to copy that, and then inside Unbounce, I'm going to edit the page, and I'm going to add a JavaScript area here and paste that in. So I'm going to leave this the same. I'm just going to change that to iTracker360 so I know that this is the iTracker snippet. So I'm going to save this and I'm going to show you what happens now after you do that. So I'm just going to republish this page. I'll go back to my test page, and now if I inspect it, I should have the hidden tracking fields added into Unbounce. But the problem now is that Unbounce has no idea that these fields even exist. So what we have to do is tell Unbounce, tell the form that these fields exist. So to do that, we're going to basically add these fields just like they are. So contact 0_GA content, or whatever your field names are. If you're using different field names, or if you have numbers after yours, you have to figure that out. To figure out what your field names are, just go to custom field settings, and these are the name of the fields that you'll have to use it, and it is case sensitive, so make sure you use it just like that. And we'll have to prefix the fields with a contact 0_, which is the names that Infusionsoft uses. Okay, so to do that, go back to your Unbounce page, edit the page, click on the form, click Edit Form Fields, and then add a hidden field. So just click on that, and the name of this field is going to be contact 0_, and I'm going to start with GA source. So it doesn't matter what order you put them in, they just have to be in there. So I'm going to hit done, and I'm going to do another one. This one's going to be GA medium. I'm going to add another one, GA term, and I'm going to pause the video and kind of go through this. Okay, I finished adding all the fields, so I have GA source, GA medium, GA term, GA campaign content, the IP address, and then I also added lead source. Now make sure you put a capital S in here. And again, if you're unsure what these names should be, you can log into the iTracker site, and these are the names. Just prefix them with contact 0_. It is case sensitive, so you have to spell it exactly, and like that. Another way you can figure out what your names would be is if you inspect the form, you'll see the field names here. So it's basically contact 0_GA content. It's basically these fields right here have to be added to Unbounce, so that Unbounce knows that these fields exist. Okay, so we're done here, so I'm going to click Done, and I'm going to save the form. I'm going to close the builder, and at this point what we have to do is map the first name field, the email field, and then all the tracking fields that we just added to Infusionsoft. So I'm going to click on the Infusionsoft integration. I'm going to configure the field mapping. And if you added those fields that we just did, you should have these new fields added here. So now Unbounce knows that to expect a GA source, GA medium, and so forth. So just map these to your Infusionsoft custom fields. So I'm going to do that to mine. GA term, campaign, GA content, IP address, So lead source is going to be, let's see, it's fine. So just make sure you map that to lead source and not lead source ID. So map that to lead source. And then the IP address is a field, but we've already mapped the contact 0_ IP address. I guess you really don't have to add that, because you could use the Unbounce field and map this to the IP address instead. So if you don't want to add that on the previous page, you don't have to. Now, one thing we did forget to do is we forgot the GA refer URL. So I'm going to go back and add that just because I forgot to. So that's done, and I'm going to go back to the form. And like I said, with the IP address, you really don't have to add that. So I'm going to leave it there, but you don't have to add it because Unbounce already kind of collects an IP address that you can map. You don't have to use the IP address that iTracker gets. You could use the one that Unbounce gets, but it's not a big deal. So contact 0_ GA refer URL. So I just know that that's how it's spelled, so I'm good. Okay, save, close the builder, and let's go map that field real quick. So here's the GA refer URL, and I'll just map that to the GA refer URL custom field. Okay, to test all this, you have to republish the page. And at this point, what's going to happen is when you fill out the lead, all the tracking data should get to Infusionsoft. So I'm just going to click on that guy, and I'm going to add some tracking parameters. So I'm just going to set that so that now if I inspect the form, instead of the lead saying direct, it's going to have Unbounce, PPC, demo, and then the lead source should be set accordingly. So I'm going to do test 7 at test.com, test 7 at test.com, and that form's been submitted. So let's log into Infusionsoft to see what happened to this guy. So here's the lead source, Unbounce PPC demo, and the custom fields are set for iTracker. And if you want to use the geo IP tracking, where we populate the city, state, country, or apply the tracking tags and things like that, what you'll need to do is apply a tag, like maybe Unbounce lead or something like that. So basically apply a tag when any lead comes from Unbounce, and that's up to you on how you want to do that. And then basically set up the HTTP post inside a campaign to send iTracker a post back. And that's covered in the setup guide if you watch kind of like the quick start. But basically you're supposed to set up an HTTP post that sends us a post back. So then in turn we'll apply location information, tags and stuff like that. So that's kind of like in step 5. Here's the URL that you'll be posting to, and to do that, just go into your campaign builder, and I think I already have one set up for like an Unbounce lead. And so anytime an Unbounce lead is created, what should happen is they would basically get a tag. So you could set up a goal that says, whenever this guy gets a tag, then send this HTTP post to the iTracker server. So I'm just going to do that real quick. You might already know how to do this, but so here's Unbounce lead, and then I'm going to do a sequence. So how you set this up in your app is kind of up to you, but this is what I would probably do, and I'm just going to copy the post from a different one. So there's the URL, contact ID, email, that's all merged, and I mean, so that would actually complete the full iTracker setup if you wanted to use the geolocation data and that sort of thing. So that's how you set up Unbounce with iTracker360. Thanks.